Boy, oh boy, what a crazy freaking day for the markets. Huge fear and panic around the potential for a meltdown of Genesis trading. We have the FTX hacker dumping tens of millions of dollars worth of Ethereum on chain. We have Bitcoin miners unloading their stacks. So much sell pressure, almost no buyers. What the heck is going on right now? Well, we're going to talk about it. So we have seen a new yearly low be put in today for Bitcoin, came in around $15,500, depending on what exchange you are looking at, about 200 bucks lower than the lows that we saw back here on the 9th of November. Lots of fear and panic in the markets, particularly over the Genesis situation. So Genesis is a subsidiary of the Digital Currency Group. The Digital Currency Group was one of the most influential players in the entire cryptocurrency space. They've got their fingers dipped in all kinds of pies. Genesis is the biggest Bitcoin trading desk, one of the biggest Bitcoin lenders in the cryptocurrency space. And of course, the fears are what could happen to the Grayscale Bitcoin and the Grayscale Ethereum Trust. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust holds 635,000 Bitcoin. Ethereum Grayscale Trust holds over 3 million Ethereum. That is a subsidiary company of the Digital Currency Group, which is in danger of bankruptcy due to bad loans made to Genesis. Lots of fears over what could happen with that trust situation. We still don't know if they're going to be able to raise the money or not, but we're definitely seeing a lot of rumors floating around the internet here. While Genesis had initially been looking to raise $1 billion to fill in the holes in their loan books, apparently they've slashed their raise target down to $500 million. Really is a sign of the times, isn't it, that one of the most important companies in the market, even if you may not have heard of them before this week, can't raise $1 billion right now. So they're lowering their targets to $500 million. Back at the height of the bull run, you could fork Uniswap and raise $1 billion. Somebody literally did that. It's insane stuff. Right now, we are facing a very, very different market, and people's risk appetite towards crypto-related products is very, very small right now. We'll see if they can pull off this $500 million number or not. Currently, Genesis is saying they have no plans to file for bankruptcy, although it was earlier reported that that could be the case. They are trying to find a way out of this situation without burning the whole damn thing down. Because if Genesis files bankruptcy, that means that the loans that Digital Currency Group made to Genesis are never going to be repaid, which means that it makes it more likely the Digital Currency Group is going to have to file for bankruptcy as well, which would be a major industry titan being taken out. And that, again, calls into question the fate of billions of dollars of Bitcoin and Ethereum locked up in the Grayscale Trust. Anyway, we're going to have to see how all this plays out in the coming days. We just don't have a lot of information yet. Genesis, Digital Currency Group, Barry Silbert, the CEO of the Digital Currency Group, they've all been very, very quiet about what's going on, which means that, you know, probably a lot of truth to what's being said right here about the rumors about the potential for them to fail. Otherwise, they'd be coming out in front trying to quash these rumors. So we'll see if they can raise that $500 million or not. Apparently, BINANCE has already said no. Let's see if somebody else is going to pick up the baton there and give them the money that they need to stop a systemic crash happening across the cryptocurrency space. Because make no doubt about it, one of the reasons why the price has been so rough the last few days is that everybody's worried if Genesis and then by proxy the Digital Currency Group go down, it could lead to another major sell-off, a further capitulation in the market. Now, before we talk about FTX Hacker and the Bitcoin miners selling, just a quick reminder, if you're not yet signed up for Wealth Mastery, then you have definitely got to get this checked out. We publish this every week, goes out to our 50,000 readers, alpha on altcoins, NFTs, DeFi tutorials, and much, much more. Plus, we have an insane Black Friday sale coming up, which we're going to be giving you more details about in just a couple of days. So sign up to the free newsletter so you can check that out. Now, let's talk about the FTX hacker. So the mysterious hacker from FTX, which is almost certainly an inside job, one of that inner circle of like 10 people, maybe even Sam Bankman-Fried himself. Anyway, this person who stole around $300 million worth of Ethereum from the exchange, started dumping off, Chainlink and Matic tokens and stuff like that. Well, they have now been selling. So look at this right here. They have been selling huge amounts of Ethereum. Yesterday, they sold 50,000 1,000 Ethereum were $60 million, and they swapped all of that over, for at least a big portion of it over, for REN BTC. So that is a wrapped version of Bitcoin. So it's pretty crazy to see that going on. So they've been then taking that REN Bitcoin and turning it into real on-chain Bitcoin, as Larry Cermak points out here. You can see the actual balances coming through here. So far, it's about $72.7 million of real Bitcoin that they've cashed out by market selling truckloads of Ethereum, which has been crashing the market. You can basically pinpoint the time that the FTX hacker started selling to price crashes in Ethereum over the last 24 to 36 hours. So this has definitely been having a big effect here. Now the thing gets deeper, because guess who owns REN? FTX owns it, right? They bought it last year. And so basically you're seeing a situation where you have this FTX hacker, they stole the Ethereum, they're selling the Ethereum for REN Bitcoin. They're using a company that FTX owns to cash out on-chain Bitcoin. This is crazy, crazy stuff. Once again, such a dirty damn story when you look at all this stuff happening. I mean, it's definitely an FTX insider that has been doing this. Again, potentially even Sam Bankman-Fried himself, or somebody who's very closely connected with, who knew about the backdoor into the exchange, exploited that, stole the money, and are now trying to launder that money and get away with hundreds of millions of dollars worth of customer money once again, because the initial fraud wasn't enough. Man, oh man, oh man. So the FTX hacker still has 200 million plus worth of Ethereum that they can use to dump the markets. And only just selling 60 million yesterday was enough to dump the price of Ethereum. Then they have all that Bitcoin, which they might try to launder and cash out at some point, or they might simply try to dump again and to manipulate markets with, especially when markets are so weak. But then we have the damn Bitcoin miners also selling their products. Basically, right now we have, as Charles here points out, a Bitcoin miner bloodbath. Most aggressive miners selling in almost 7 years right now, up 400% in just 3 weeks. If the price doesn't go up soon, we are going to see a lot of Bitcoin miners going out of business. You can see this chart right here. This is insane. Huge, huge, huge selling pressure from Bitcoin miners. Haven't seen anything like this since 2016, late 2015. Absolute insanity what we're seeing right now, because the profitable price for a Bitcoin miner right now is like $19,300, which means that the majority of miners are currently at a loss, which means they either have to turn off their machines or shut down their businesses, depending on how cash healthy their business was and how long they can afford to have those machines sitting off, if they can even afford to do that. So this could be a great washout. And of course, that adds more sell pressure into an already desperately weak market. And the more the Bitcoin miners sell, the harder it is for the price to rise, the harder it is for them to be profitable, the more likely it is the more of them are going to go out of business. It becomes a dirty, downward just drain of insanity getting sucked down. And that's what we're seeing right now for crypto. Massive fears around Genesis and the contagion effects that that could have. So it's not just FTX contagion anymore, right? Which we're still going to see effects from that. But we see FTX contagion hitting Genesis, which hits Digital Currency Group, and then the contagion from that, if they fail, could be monstrous. The FTX hacker selling off huge amounts of crypto, and of course, Bitcoin miners selling. Crazy times, guys. Stay safe out there. This craziness won't last forever. Okay, that's it from me for today. Subscribe now if you're not already, and I'll see you next time.